it's time to send in the Marines. We've got a Marine contingent in front here, so don't anybody, get out of hand. Hoorah! I want to talk about Grady Birdsong and interview him. As I said the other day at our coffee and conversation at the museum, he's got the second greatest name after Flint Whitlock. Grady was born in Blackwell, Oklahoma, and grew up in Kansas and joined the Marines in 1966. He was assigned to the 1st Battalion, 27th Marines, and later the 2nd Battalion, 9th Marines, and then an extended tour with the communications company of the 3rd Marine Division along the DMZ. Many of us remember news accounts, or maybe we were there, of the month-long battle for the city of Hue in northern South Vietnam, one of the toughest battles of not only the Tet Offensive, but of the entire war. Grady Birdsong was there, and now he's here to tell us about it. I should also mention that Grady, with all of his technical skills, put together the PowerPoint that you are seeing today. So please welcome Grady Birdsong.
Thank you, Flint. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Broomfield Veterans Museum and staff. It's an honor to be here today. I spent, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to talk so much about myself, but I'm going to talk about my unit and some of the other units that were in Hue City, the battle, and I'm going to set the stage here. I'm going to do a video, a couple of videos. It'll give you a good idea of what happened. These are the major operations that I was involved in, a couple other minor operations. As Flint told you, I grew up in Kansas. My ancestors settled there in the 1880s in sod homes. They became prosperous wheat and cattle farmers and near Fort Hays in the central part there. And some of my relatives are still there. After about 2 years of college, playing basketball, I decided to join the Marine Corps, and as Flint said, I joined the 1st Battalion, 27th Marines, and our battle cry was "To the sound of the guns." That originated during the Battle of Waterloo in Belgium, uttered by one of Napoleon's generals. So let's set the stage. I'm going to play a little 2-minute video, and one of my buddies is in it. It'll set the stage for the Tet Offensive and what happened at Hue. Here we go.
January 30th, 1968, Vietnam. The Communist Army from North Vietnam, the NVA, launch a massive wave of surprise attacks across the south of the country, striking military and civilian command and control centers. It's the beginning of the Tet Offensive. In 3 years of fighting, this is the first time major NVA forces move out of the countryside to attack cities and U.S. bases.
Calls are coming in all over South Vietnam that things are under attack. It is chaos.
In the imperial city of Hue, South Vietnamese forces are sending urgent messages to the U.S. Marines requesting help.
Nobody knows what's going on in Hue, not even the people being attacked. So the Marines think this must be a small infiltration unit, this must be Viet Cong, this must be something that we faced before.
In response, 2 companies of Marines, around 300 men, are sent to Hue from their base at Phu Bai, 8 miles away. Lance Corporal Barney Barnes is with Golf Company 25 Marines.
We were actually told, don't take your packs, don't take any extra chow, you'll be back in Phu Bai by 1800 tonight. We were told that there were only a few NVA inside the city. We had no idea what we were getting into.
As the 2 companies approach the city's outer limits, they quickly realize there's nothing routine about what they see. Machine gunner Bill Purcell is with Alpha Company.
The truck stopped. It was a blown-up tank, a South Vietnamese tank in the middle of the road. There were a couple of dead guys. One was hanging out of the turret. And the tank had burned for a while, and these corpses were pretty well charred. They could knock out a tank. There was some pretty heavy stuff going on right now.
During the early morning hours of January 30th, 1st Marine Division's Task Force X-ray at Phu Bai began receiving calls of citizens, civil servants, university professors, and religious leaders were being arrested and executed. 1st Battalion, 1st Marines was sent in to investigate. A little side note, according to research from the Florida Atlantic University, an estimated 2,800 to 5,000 civilians and POWs were executed, slaughtered, many bound, tortured, burned alive, or buried alive, and some others were brutally clubbed to death. 1-1 and in trace was 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines. Both units were undermanned. Let's see, there's 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines on the south side of the river. Bill Purcell, my buddy, is here with us today. He was one of the first Marines into the south side of the city, 3rd Platoon. Bill, would you stand up for a second or wave your hand? He's down here in the front row. You can tell he got his bell rung there by his helmet. He's also the president of our 1st Marine Division Association here in the Denver area. His platoon sergeant, Sergeant Freddie Gonzalez, Medal of Honor recipient posthumously. His gunnery sergeant, John Canley, finally became a sergeant major later on, but he just received the Medal of Honor here recently. He had come out of there with a Navy Cross, and that's Freddie's mother in between President Trump and John Canley. So unbeknownst to those Marines that come in on the south side of the city, there was 8,000 to 10,000 NVA waiting on them. It was house to house, alley by alley, room by room, inch by inch. The Citadel on the north side of the river is the old imperial capital of Vietnam, and it is to the Vietnamese what Boston is to our history. And if you don't know why, that's a miniature replica of the Forbidden City in Beijing, China. This will give you an idea of the tactical area of operation of the units. Phu Bai, as Barney said in the video, was 8 miles up to the river. 1-1 and 2-5 had that tactical area of responsibility. Later on, 1-5, 1st Battalion, 5th Marines came in. The Navy took them in LCU boats up to the northeast corner and dropped them off and told them, go get them, and they did. The 1st Cav and the 101st Airborne were out here on blocking forces. My unit, 127, came in at the end of February. I believe the total battle was like 26 days. We were after their rice supply. They did not want to give up that rice supply. That's my buddy Scott Nesbitt there on the leg of that 60 mortar tube. That was me when I first got there. It still had clean utilities. We've got another Denver celebrity with us here today. This is a picture of him when he was 12 years old. And it's Don Bates. Stand up, Don. He and Bill are going to give they've consented to give a detailed account of their participation in the battle there this summer at Coffee and Conversations over at the museum. And he came out to support us, him and his Marines in the tanks came out to support us on operations No Name 1 through 5. and he affectionately named his tank Psychotic Reaction after the song. His other tank was Boom Boom. So, okay. Pictures speak volumes, so instead of talking, I've put together a pictorial montage of my photos, some of my buddies' photos, and some from the Marine Corps archives, and this will give you an idea of what we did in training in Hawaii, our rush deployment to Vietnam, and then our combat that we were engaged in at Hue and Operation Allen Brook. So here we go.
The enemy of freedom has chosen to make this year the decisive one. He is striking out in a desperate and a vicious effort to try to shape the final outcome to his purposes.
We lost 116 of our Marines out of an understrength maneuver battalion of about 900 Marines. I, like many, returned home with survivor's guilt. In later life, the good Lord nudged me with reality. Here's something I wrote down myself. The Marine Corps in Vietnam had shaped my civilian future, installing leadership and responsibility into me. With the Lord's guidance, I later accepted the war traumas. I am grateful and honored to have walked amongst real men, real heroes, and some of those angels, the nurses who spoke earlier today. Those many sacrifices remind me that we won every battle, but our politicians denied us victory. The truth sparked a deep need in me to share these stories, those stories, driving me towards volunteering and writing books. And good to see here. Let's see here. I'll go back to this in a minute. But in closing, the book on the upper hand left is the premier history book of the United States Marine Corps in 1968. Everything you want to know, everything the Marine Corps did, well, it's in that book. Colonel Lynn Blaisall, one of the historians and authors of that book, read my book, To the Sound of the Guns, and wrote a glowing testimonial and put it in the Marine Corps archives. Another colonel took my book to the Naval War College and placed it in their library. And Colonel Fisher made sure that it got into the basic school where they make lieutenants at Quantico, Virginia. The other book of note, Echoes of Our War, sponsored by Colonel Fisher, a Cooper's Troopers member. He ran the Cooper's Troopers luncheon group. I do now, along with Tom Jacobs. Anyway, he gathered 10 of us up and told us to write chapters, and we have a lot of those people here. Please stand up, all the authors that are in this book. Tom Jacobs, Bill Purcell, Denny Sedlak, it's in the Broomfield Veterans Museum Library. And Bill and Don Bates are going to be talking this summer about the Battle of Hue. In closing, I'm a Marine. Becoming a Marine is earned. It is never given. Beyond my faith in the good Lord, my dear wife who is here tonight, my children and my precious grandchildren are here also. Nothing makes me prouder than have to have walked amongst a bunch of raggedy-ass Marines. God bless the United States of America. God bless the Marine Corps. Semper Fi.
That's what a Marine is all about.